Hello everyone, how's it going? So I'm here for the Intimidating TBR Tag. I was tagged in this by Sean the Book Maniac, and the tag was originally created by Books and Lala, and I will leave links to both of their videos in the description, of course. So thank you for tagging me, Sean. So I don't think this tag needs too much introduction, because it's quite old. But with the first question, it is, what book have you been unable to finish? And this had a pretty clear answer for me, because it's quite recent. It's Nature's God, The Heretical Origins of the American Republic by Matthew Stewart. In this book, Matthew Stewart discusses the philosophy that inspired America's founding fathers. And he argues that the founding fathers were actually much more skeptical of religion and much closer to being atheists than anything, contrary to popular belief. And he goes in depth into the philosophy that inspired the founding fathers in writing the Declaration of Independence and in creating the American Republic. Basically where it lost me was, I really liked the first 100 pages, but then when he got really deep into the philosophy behind the founding fathers, the philosophy of Spinoza and Locke and others, that's where it kind of lost me, because while I could see it being interesting, it wasn't really why I came to the book. I came to the book to learn about America's founding fathers, so that's why it lost me. And so yeah, that is a book I have not been able to finish. I'm not sure I'm ever going to finish it. We'll have to see. And the next series of questions are in response to what book have you yet to read because. So these will all be in response to that. So the first one is one you haven't read yet because you just haven't had the time. And my response to this question isn't really a book. It's that if I really want to read a book, in, my soul, then I will make the time. If I haven't read a book, it's not because I haven't had the time, it's just because I haven't been compelled to make the time. Which probably means I wasn't that into reading the book in the first place. Second one is a book you haven't read yet because it's a sequel. And this one I also have a pretty clear answer. It's God, Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert. So this is the third novel in the Dune saga. So there's Dune, which is the first novel, which is the most famous novel, and popular judgment has it that the rest of the novels in the series aren't that good, or at least that Dune Messiah, the second one, sucks, and that all the others are just okay. And so I had sort of bought into that judgment. I had read Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, the third one, but then had decided to stop there because I thought that if I kept reading I would just dislike them and that they would keep getting worse and worse. But in wake of my reread of Frank Herbert's Dune, I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos about the Dune universe, and a lot of them have touched on God, Emperor of Dune. And I've gotten intrigued, and think I would like to read it. It sounds very interesting. And it also comes highly recommended by Steve Donahue, who left a comment on a video a long time ago telling me that God, Emperor of Dune was actually his personal favorite out of the entire Dune saga. So now that I've reread Dune, I'm going to try to reread Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, and then continue on with the series with God, Emperor of Dune, and hopefully finish all the books that Frank Herbert wrote. Number 4 in the tag, number 3 of these prompts, a book you haven't read yet because it's brand new. And once again, I didn't have a clear answer for this because I don't really read new releases, and I haven't bought many new books, but a book I did just order, and so it's so new that I don't even have it yet, is A Tomb for Boris Davidovich by Danilo, which is a Serbo-Croat short story collection that actually Sean and I are going to be buddy reading, but I just ordered it in the mail, and it should be here in a few days. I don't know why it's taking so long. I ordered it like a week ago. But it will be here, and then I will read it. So it's not a book that I'm avoiding reading. I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet. Number 5 is a book you haven't read yet because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it. This, I'm going with Murphy by Samuel Beckett. I like Beckett's fiction in such a way that I can't quite say I enjoyed the reading experience of his fiction. His novel Watt really left me cold, but I really love his novel How It Is. But his trilogy was really a trial to get through. And so because of my mixed experience with Beckett's novels, I've been very hesitant to pick this up, even though it's very short and has, like, gigantic margins. So yeah, I've just been hesitant to pick this up for that reason. But actually, Curtis of Curtis Books and Books and I are going to be buddy reading this in, I'm not sure when, but maybe December or sometime. But so I will be getting to reading it because Curtis said he was interested, and I would like to read it because I do find Beckett's novels interesting, even if I don't always enjoy reading them. Number 6 is a book you haven't read yet because you're just not in the mood for it. This I'm going with On the Social Contract by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. I've read a few books of philosophy this year, and I think I'm just kind of philosophized out for now, and maybe need to save this for next year. But yeah, just the prospect of reading this just doesn't sound appealing in the slightest. So yeah, On the Social Contract. Number 7 is a book you haven't read yet because it's humongous. Now, this answer is a bit odd. The book I'm going with is 1001 Paintings You Must See Before You Die by Stephen Farthing. And this book is just is really self-explanatory, but it just has, paintings, and each with a short essay under it by a scholar. And now the reason I'm not going to read this whole thing is because I'm not interested in every one of the paintings in here. I'm just reading the parts on the paintings that I look at and find striking, that I like the most. So that's why I'm not reading the whole thing. Because if I did, it would be tedious to make my way through each essay on the paintings that I didn't really care much for. So yeah. And number 8, a book you haven't read yet because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews. I don't buy books based on their covers, so none. And the last question is, what is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? And this book could have actually been the answer to a few of the prompts that came before this, but it had to be for this last one. It's The Basic Works of Aristotle. Almost 1,500 pages long, and it's all Aristotle. Yeah, need I say more? So yeah, anyway, that is the Intimidating TBR tag. I'm not sure who's done this because it's an old tag. So if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. I know that that's like the cop-out answer for tags, but I'm going with it. So yeah, anyway, thank you for tagging me, Sean. I almost called you Shag, Sean. Thank you for tagging me, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.